This episode is recorded on September 21st, where the policy of H-1B has been out for like 2 days, and they are unanswered question as well. Please know that the information may be outdated and do not quote us on the facts about this. These are about our opinions and what ifs when the regulation has taken into full actions. Let's hear about it. Hi, I'm Timo,
And I'm Ploy.
and we are International
International
Ball.
pause.
Oh my god. All right, let's just get straight to it. If you are an international student in the US right now, your phone might have probably been blowing up because the the newest H-1B $100,000 fee. Just saying it out loud, it feels unreal. Why?
Yeah, that's a very big number. It's a crazy number. Yeah. So like now we all know a lot, and I'm sure that everyone is sitting here that you guys are probably on your OPT or even doing school, looking for a job. And for sure, H1B is something that you guys might, aiming for to stay in the US. So before we jump into the details, let's take a quick deep breath and go over what we are now, like we know for now.
All right, let's get into it.
Yeah, I can go first. So basically, as you all know, the internet is blowing up in the past weekend. So so Trump on Friday the 19th, Trump just signed the presidential order about the H-1B visa, which is for the context, if you guys don't know what it is, H-1B visa is the non-immigrant worker visa. So basically, if you are foreign born and you want to work in the US, your company can sponsor you the H-1B visa, and that's how they
You
can
can come work in
hire.
the
Yeah,
US.
you can come work in the US basically. And this H-1B visa. So what happened before the fee for H-1B visa, excluding the lawyer fee, would be around like 1,000. Let's say
Mm-hmm.
max. Like the pension fees, the application fee totals is like around like 800 to $1,000,
Mm-hmm.
including the lawyer fee might end up around 5,000 depending on what lawyers you get. But yeah, that would be the cost in order to hire, and that's a one-time cost. You got if once you get a H-1B, got selected, you're good for 6 years. So it
Mm-hmm.
started with 3 years and you extend it to 6 years, which is
That's
great.
true.
It's a great deal. And as you all know, in big tech companies like Meta, Google, Amazon, you
Amazon.
name it, those companies they hire a lot, like thousand. Especially, I believe Amazon hired like more last year in 2024. They hire 10,000 H-1B holders, 10,000, which is huge number. So it's an entire industry of tech. And what happened was there are some change as of the 19th that the fee go up to
Oh
$100,000
my god.
per
Per
applicant
year.
per
Per
year. So now,
year.
it's not a one-time
Ugh.
fee anymore. It's a
Mm-hmm.
is a money that a company have to pay on top of the salary of that worker every single year to the government in terms of fee. Like you don't get anything back. It's a fee that you pay to the government in order to hire foreign born workers to work for the company. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like what they claim to say that what they claim that this policy will help the US interest is that
Yeah.
they said that it is to make sure that a company hire only the brightest, the best in class, the one valuable enough to get sponsored and work in the US. So the company would consider more American citizen to work for the company. So that's what they claim to say. All right.
But what in reality, Ploy?
Okay, I can share my one of my stories. So my current company that I'm currently work with, there is one department that they have one empty positions for like years. They've been empty for years. And during the first few months that the previous person who worked in that position was still working, after they left, my company tried to try really hard to recruit. They interview a lot of people, like I would say like 20 people or more. they cannot land on anyone because they would need a visa sponsorship. They
Hmm.
cannot land on anyone because the one that legitimate enough, legitimate to work for this job or capable of this job, they all need visa sponsorship. And
Hmm.
that what is sad because they and then in the end, until now, that position is still empty. Until now, until today, it's still
That
empty.
is
So that's
crazy.
that's one part that proves that within that certain job, it's not like international student would take American jobs. It's a job that American cannot do. It's clearly said that like they cannot find anyone who legitimate to work for the job without sponsorship. That's what's sad.
Wow. I think that's really sad, and to think that you remember when we were starting out and applying for jobs, the hurdle of visa sponsorship, it was such a big deal. That was
Hmm.
before this policy has been out. Now that this policy has been out, I can't imagine the miscommunication, the misunderstanding, and the misconception of like sponsorship is not available. But the thing is, well, first of all, I'm not a lawyer, and even if you are the lawyer, the information is so fresh and new to the point that like we're not even sure by the time this air is gonna get changed or not. The thing
Mm.
is,
Yes.
what as effect of the new policy right now is that it's for someone who's outside of the US right now. So
Mm.
think of someone who's currently in, I mean, anywhere else aside from the US, Thailand, India, China. If they are interested in coming to work in the US and wanted to come directly as a worker, they have to get H-1B. That's one of the way that they can do it. Well, the people who never had like education in the US or other presence in the US, they will get apply this policy of $100,000 a year. So that means, I mean, for now, that's from what the information I've heard.
Yes. It's
F1
still up in
student,
the air.
OPT, STEM OPT, people who has already been in the US, and also people who has H1B in the first place. When they're renewing or when they're applying for it, we will not get this proclamation policy inflicted on us. But well, honestly, I don't even know what's gonna happen tomorrow
Yeah.
anymore.
So yes, and I have something to add a little bit. So yes, as of now, I'm not gonna say that, as I said, I'm not an immigration lawyer. We are not immigration lawyers. We're here to share what we currently know, and this thing is still up in the air and it's just blowing up the internet in the past few
Hmm.
days. So don't fact checks every second. Still think on that. Take information that you needed. Go find all information online. We're here to share our opinions and how we think about it. So first of all, they said that they said that this thing will not affect the H-1B who are currently like have a legitimate H-1B, currently
Hmm.
holding one, and currently in the US, you're fine. But if you are outside the US, trying to come here with the H-1B visa, you will get the fine. You will get to pay the fee of $100,000. Every time I say this number,
That
it's still
that
really
number
hard to
is
say.
it is so unreal. Like
$100,000.
that's even more than like a lot of entry level salary or even mid level in some states.
Yeah,
My
totally.
God.
And what happened is that I think there are some gray areas that are a
Hmm.
bit unfair for us for H not right, for H-1B holders because I mean, yes, they can stay in the US, but they are like basically they're stuck. They cannot go out. They cannot go travel abroad. What if they're because I said H1B visas you got initially 3 years and then you can extend for 6 years, right? So that means you get a stamp, like when we get the F1
Oh
stamp,
yes. Hmm.
So if they want to get a stamp outside the US, and when they come back, and if they come back after the 21st, the September 21st, they might face a fee, which is kind of not fair for them because they live in the
Already
US.
got.
They went
Yeah.
out just a few days to get the stamp and then come back. Yeah, so this is a gray area that's still pretty controversial and like on Reddit, on Facebook groups about these visa sponsorship is just blowing up.
Very much. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, just now for now, just wait and see what how the update's gonna work. I remember that the government already had tried to clarify this point about the travel ban things, but I think it's still like the wording and the messaging is still not that clear. So yeah, for now, most immigration lawyers or companies will start to send out emails and kind of like they would suggest that you should not leave the country. Yeah. So that's the thing that's happening right now. Actually, one of my colleagues that she's
Mm-hmm.
on S1B, now she's on her OPT and now she's outside the US and
Oh my
she's
God.
is not scheduled to come back until next week. I'm not sure
Mm-hmm.
how her plans right now, but let's see.
Oh my God. I mean, I hope she
But
gets
yeah,
everything.
but 100,000 is
It's a lot. Like I can't even imagine. That's. I mean, that's really a lot of money. Crazy to talk.
yeah,
And it's
like
even crazier that this money is going directly into the government.
yeah, it's in terms of it's not like a deposit, it's not like a scholarship, it's like fee in terms of fee.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
as I said. So they said for this policy, they do for the get of interest, like for the national interest of like, okay, we can make the company be more selective of the H1B app, like H1B applicants and
workers. Mm-hmm.
holders, workers. So they make sure that the company also consider American. But I think it's that's the thing that they said it's gonna this change gonna do, but we will have to wait and see how things gonna go. But yeah,
That's
for
really
sure,
true.
this certain change really caused a lot of anxiety and frustration to
And
everyone who's facing this.
panics. Yes.
Yeah, a lot of panic. So let's see.
My LinkedIn is actually like when I scrolling
But
through my feed, every single post is talking about the H1B news, and that's such a, I would say, national occurrence.
it
It's a
is.
national phenomenon. Everyone's been talking about it.
Mm. Yeah, so I'm gonna first of all, actually, I want to jump back a little bit
Hmm.
about how the H-1B policy looks like. Actually, H-1B policy, how to get an H-1B visa, is already not easy, even though
Hmm.
the fee is not a lot. The fee is just 1,000 something. For the company, $1,000 is not gonna break them for sure. It doesn't matter that much. But what's going to matter is that they have a certain window for H-1B to apply, and you will be picked from the pool. Basically, it's a lottery system.
Lottery.
It's a lottery system for us as international student to find a company that was willing to pay for the lawyer fee, for the lawyer, for the fee is already difficult.
Hard, yes.
It's already hard, and we have to wait and see if we're gonna get the lottery, get picked or not. So it's just a lot. And I have done some research about H-1B before. So they said if a company pays for the first round, we don't get if like have to pay for the application fee of 200 something. And if we don't get picked, the company have to pay again next year for $200 in order to put you into the pool. And if you got selected, then you will pay more around like 500 or 600 to pay that, which is $200 is also not like a little money for
It
sure.
is. It is.
Yeah. So, yep, that's how H-1B works. And once you get H-1B, you have to work for you cannot work for any other employers. You can
Hmm.
have to work with under the same employer that sponsor your H-1B only. And if you want to change employer, you have to do transfer. Like if you transfer, like the new employer have to be willing to like help you transfer the
To put
H-1B,
on
and
this legal.
it have to be done by lawyer.
Hmm.
So that will be around like 4,000 more.
My God, being in the US is just a lot of
And
hidden
if
fees.
yeah, and this thing will last for only 6 years. So basically, after 6 years, you have to figure it out what next. But yeah, also, but on H-1B, you can do like the perm, like PERM, like it's when you convert from H-1B to green card.
Green card.
Yeah, so that's another process. Uh, Still, you have to pay more. There'll be some more processing to do. Yeah,
Oh my
that's
God,
it.
that's a lot of things to think about. Let's
Yep.
actually talk about what if this policy comes into the action? What's the effect that's going to happen? Let's just talk about what ifs. I can put an input right now because
Yeah.
I'm pretty much working in tech, and
Yep.
I've been to California last week. California and all the tech industry is dominated by immigrants, by international students, by brilliant minds outside of the US. And I think, honestly, H-1B is one of the US strongest weapons because they can attract genius. They can attract people who has degrees, who has skills and talent that the
Mm-hmm.
US people doesn't have in the first place, to be able to create and help contribute to even more discoveries, more business, and more growth of the technology advancement in the whole. If this happens, what you might see is just no more, I don't know, inventions, no
Mm-hmm.
more like the big tech company. They rely a lot on talents actually. When they don't have the talents, of course, the talent doesn't just exist into the nothingness. They go and work for someone else, maybe Canada, maybe their own country. And this effect, I think, is gonna be really clear on the tech industry. At least that's what I can say for now. That we're gonna have a lot of skills talent gap has been
Yes.
it's gonna drop drastically.
Yeah.
I think
Because
that yeah,
yeah.
one of
Mm-hmm.
the one of the one of the mindset behind this about increasing American worker hiring rate is I'm sure in their goodwill, but it's not it doesn't work just by blocking other people to not come into the US. I think that you have to like also improve education system overall. You have to also adopt even more culture, even more like you stopping immigrants coming in will not always equal to having more Americans worker getting higher education or
Mm.
being replaceable. It doesn't equate the same. That's what I have in my opinion. What about you, Ploy? In marketing or in your field of work, what would
Yeah.
happen?
Sure. Actually, in marketing for sure, compared to tech, in marketing there is not much H-1B worker compared to tech for sure. But I can say that like I can say in terms of like the company, I feel like this policy for sure the one who would be affected by this company is but by this policy are the companies that hire H-1B workers because there will be a tremendous cost that will increase because before they don't they, before they just pay it's a one-time fee for H-1B, but now they have to pay like 100,000 every
100,000,
year. So imagine you're gonna keep this person for 6 years because H-1B can last 6 years. They have to pay. It will be like
six
six
hundred
hundred
thousand
thousand. And if they have
dollars,
like Google's, Amazon, they hire like 10,000 H-1B holders. So that means that is like $1 that they have to pay to the government. So for sure, I think what's gonna change in marketing, I don't think if you ask me will it affect that much, it's hard to say. I would say that for me, in my opinion, I feel like having someone from a different background, different culture can spice things
mm-hmm.
up for marketing a little bit because like marketing is all about creativities and touch on people's like minds. Basically, if you read the text, if you read the ads and you feel like this text like talk to me personally, you would feel like it's more effective than the text that say like, I have this, I sell this. It's just kind of more generic, right? But if it talks to you, it would feel more. And these aspects will come from someone who have diverse background, who have
Mm-hmm.
like international backgrounds. They would have this talent, this knowledge, this hint of culture that can attract people. These days, for me, you know how much population of, for example, Chinese in the U.S. It's a lot, especially you've been to San Francisco. I'm sure that you met a lot of there are a lot of
And New
Chinese
York as well.
population. Yeah, and these days, they start to do marketings on it's called Red Notes. Is a
Mm-hmm.
Chinese Yelp, let's
Yeah,
say.
I see.
Chinese
Mm-hmm.
Yelp. And now a lot of companies start to do marketing on Red Notes because it's huge and it has to be in Chinese. Like you
Mm-hmm.
cannot use English in Red Notes, like because it's not going to be as effective as you use Chinese. And for sure, if you need someone who is fluent in Chinese, who can talk to Chinese audience, if you're selling something to Asian population or Chinese populations, then you need to hire like
Someone with a
Chinese
culture.
born, someone with a
Mm-hmm.
culture. So yeah, of course, if I think in every industry, H-1B also part of that. Yeah, so that's from the marketing perspective. And I think it's why it is important to have someone with different backgrounds to do with marketing. And also, actually, one more thing that's really important is that have you seen that there are a lot of dramas going on in marketing? Sometimes
Dramas?
dramas, like in marketing, for example, if you do something that hurts some certain communities, it will
Mm-hmm.
ruin your
Oh yes, your
company,
product,
your
your
product. And
reputation.
yes, and this is really like that's why it's really very important for marketers who to be like inclusive, to understand diversity, to understand like how to talk to different communities, how to deliver a message that will not hurt or will not spread hate to a certain communities without, feeling it. Because if you don't aware of this, it will ruin your company for a while at least.
My, that's really risky.
Yeah, so that's what I'm
Actually,
saying. Hmm.
yeah, that's really interesting. Actually, I just came up with another impact of this policy passing. So instead of tech person cannot come work in the US, tech industry has remote working. This will likely actually means they will delegate the entry level task or even some kind of easier task to outsourcing. They will hire people internationally abroad with so much cheaper rate to do the same job as the US does. And like what company compromises might be like some office culture that they cannot show up in the office in person. But for business side, I can see that they're saving a lot of money rather than like hiring the US person in the first place. So just to be real, like let's say phone call center person, let's say in the US it will start around $15 per hour. In Asia or in South America, you can hire someone with the same job for so much cheaper. And that's just the reality. And what's crazy is like there's also so many startups doing outsourcing company as well. Like
Yes.
hire talent from India for $3 per hour. $3 per hour? Like
Yeah. Yeah, so that's I think that's a consequence that probably will happen if this policy will keep going. Is that the US will start considering outsourcing from people from internationals
mhm.
like location, which is actually already happened. Actually, like
Yes.
within my previous companies, both of my previous companies, they also hired outsource people from like different countries, like one from Russia, another one there from like Mexico, which is in Mexico is really common that they work remotely from Mexico and then work for the US company. Because if you're not aware, Mexico, we share the same time zone.
True, yes.
We're the same time zone, so it's
Very
very
convenient.
easy, very convenient. So that's what's happened. I have one friend who is currently working in Thailand. She working in Thailand out of the US income.
Hmm.
And she got paid through like I think it's like a probably an agency or like a medium, like middleman
Hmm.
between the US and like US company and hers. And she come to visit like the companies once a year, like the office like once a year, I guess. But mostly she worked remotely. And these days she got paid a lot for Thai
To
workers,
live
so
in Thai,
comparing
yes.
to live in Thailand. Thailand is super cheap to live. So yeah, I think that's probably one thing that would happen.
I also have another friend when I was in my first job, and well, when I finished my first job, he also worked for someone else. He actually worked for Pfizer in the U.S. income. He get well in Thai, he get paid like 100,000 baht.
Okay.
When I heard, and he was like just a fresh grad as well. When I heard that as a Thai person, I'm like, wow,
Wow.
that's so much
Yeah, yeah,
money.
yeah. It's a lot of
But
money.
then I tried to do the math actually, and what he was a data analyst, data engineer, and what he get paid per hour is around $12 per hour. To do
Oh,
the same job, that would have cost like 40,
yeah.
50, 100.
Actually, 100,000 baht per
Yes.
month is the same as my dad's salary on his
Oh my
last
god.
year of
Hmm.
working before he retired. That means like that is the salary of like a CEO in
Hmm.
Thailand. But
The
like
highest
here it's
rank.
like an entry level.
I was. It's crazy how monies work for me.
Yeah,
Really.
true.
Oh my god.
Okay. All right. I think the next step is that, yeah, so from now, we feel like I know it's crazy. The number is crazy, and we don't know what's going on, what's gonna happen next. But yeah, for now, instead of just freaking out, oh my God, what to do? Am I leaving today? I'm gonna say that just don't panic and just
Hmm.
wait and see how things gonna go. Because things can change all the time in the US especially. Policy change happen a lot, and us as someone who's within the industries, we just have to wait and see and make sure you're up to date about what's going on. I'm sure that it will
Yeah,
be some follow-ups. I'm pretty sure. I don't think they're gonna leave it like
definitely.
this. They will have something
Everything is so
that they're gonna come up.
ambiguous right now.
Yeah, everything is just like really up in the air. Now all we what everything that we know now is just what $100,000. This number is
Yeah,
just $100,000. $100,000.
and it's such a headline banger.
Yeah.
Like that amount of money
$100,000.
is just really a lot of money in a lot
Mm,
of people's mind.
yeah.
Yeah, like even in I guess even US person, $100,000 is a lot as well.
I mean, it's like it's crazy amount. It's like the entire year of Sorali.
Yeah.
So
Oh
I'm
my
gonna
god.
say that like now we just have to wait and see how things go. But I'm sure there will be some follow up. And also, I did some research about how the presidential or
Order.
executive order
Yes.
works in the US. And I know that there are still this order still can be like considered through the Congress and the federal courts. So if the federal court and the Congress feel like it's not like this, like it doesn't make sense, or how they're going to convince that, like how they're going to change this policy, they still can block it or like kind of like put it on hold so they can discuss more about how this policies have the national interest or how it's going to affect the economy. Which, if you ask me, in my opinion, I think it would affect a lot for the US
Yes.
economy because as we know that US is a tech, like it's huge for tech. For like
Hmm.
Amazon, without Apple, without Amazon, without Tesla, without anything like that,
Google.
the US is gonna collapse. The US gonna collapse. So it's I think removing H-1B huge.
It is.
Or
I
it might,
can.
yeah, like I said, I think there will be, and maybe this worker might move to Canada, might move to other countries that are willing to
Hmm.
give them PR or like call like permanent
Permanent
residence,
residence.
which is easier. And then you will see Silicon Valleys in other countries, I guess.
Oh my god. I think I just want to emphasize on the Congress counter
Yeah.
this law again. Think back on I think last year when
Mm.
Trump has recently got into the position, he said that he want to revoke the rights of birth. If you are born in
Oh
the
yes, yes,
US,
yes. This is the
you
oh
will
yeah,
not
this is
you
the
will no
one.
longer get US citizenship if your parent is
Yeah,
not US citizen. And it was also a big headline back then. Like everyone
yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah. I
what are you
remember this.
doing?
I
Yeah.
remember this. Yeah, 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 yeah.
And
Actually, like
so
oh
yeah.
sorry, keep going.
No, like I was just saying it was a really big thing and a lot of people were panicking. And honestly I'm not sure what happened, but at the end of the day, it's not in effect right now and it doesn't seem to be no longer in
So
consideration.
yeah, I think the Congress or the federal court, like don't fact check me, but one I remember that that policy were blocked because like for some reason they don't think it's working. I guess.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I think yeah, I remember. I was thinking too. I remember that there was one policy that Trump signed, and it was really big. And then the federal court kind of blocked that one because it's like they don't think it's like for national interest, so they blocked that one. Which is I think it's this one that you mentioned because I was
Yeah.
thinking that this is one reason why me myself personally I think this policy will be blocked because it's because if the federal courts have blocked something that related to immigrations in the US before, I think this one also more likely to be blocked as well. But we have to wait and
Hopefully.
see. We have to wait and see and put a finger cross. Yeah,
Oh my
because for sure
god.
H-1B is like a stage one that for sure we would like that to happen. And yeah, as we said that the US is driven by H-1B people. 75% are Indian, and the second to large is Chinese immigrations that come to US, and you know where they go to. They go to Silicon Valley.
My God, this again.
It's a fact check. Like fun facts. Do you know what is the percentage of Thais who hold H-1B?
I don't know what is it. Oh,
Is
5%. Too
lower
high.
than that. Less
Lower
than
than.
1%.
Oh my
Less
God.
than one. It's like 0.00. It's really small for Thai people to get H-1B. So yeah, that's some fun that I heard from my friend. Like yesterday, I went to a party and then we discussed about the thing, and then I'm like, what? What? But yeah, it's Thai people with goodness. Yeah. In order to stay in the US, there are a lot of ways to stay here. You have like green card, there are different types of visas. I saw some people on TikTok and Instagram, they start talking that they can start considering the O1 visa
Hmm.
as well.
Yeah,
But
let's actually talk about the alternative choice instead of H-1B.
yeah, exactly. So they
You continue about the O1 visa.
yeah, so there are other opportunities, other like options instead of H1B, which is one visa, which is I'm not don't fact check me. I believe it's like a visa
Invest.
for artists. Someone who have like an extraordinary award. Yeah, extraordinary like for example, if you're an artist and then you want some kind of like publication or award. For example, your work get to publish on New York Times or Vogue
Hmm.
or something like that.
Hmm.
That is like one award or publication that you got. Then you might be eligible for the O1 visa. O1 visa doesn't require employers sponsorship. You sponsor yourself, but you just have to submit your portfolio and prove the point that you have like extraordinary skills. So most artists, like photographer, tattooists,
Wow.
a lot of tattooists got O1 visa. And this O1 visa will give you green cards.
US is such a big market for tattooing, actually. I think, yeah, I think US
I
is the
have a
only
couple of
place
friends.
where you can see tattoo normally in every profession, and no one has a taboo against it.
No, in Thailand, okay, fun fact. In Thailand, if you work for government, you cannot have tattoo
A visible
anywhere.
tattoo
No, cannot.
anywhere? Hmm. Oh, wow.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Even you wear, they said anywhere, but even if you have an earline, who's gonna know? Yeah, but in terms of the rules, you should not have anywhere. But here, my colleague, they have tattoo like all over, like, like all over, like
Yeah, that's so
yeah.
true.
So, in every professions, whatever work you do, you have that.
Oh
Yeah.
my.
Yeah.
One
So
of
that's
the
keep
one of
going.
the other choices that I heard recently, and I think is interesting, is EB1 from your own country.
Ah,
The EB1 is just a direct petition for green card, basically. But to be able to qualify for EB1, you need to have like outstanding research or high value quality publications. And I was actually met this guy who's from Thailand, and he applied EB1 from Thailand to be in the US. And
wow.
yeah, he actually worked in Chicago right now. He has a family in Chicago. They're all in like they're all from Thailand. They're all Thailand born. He was honestly just fed up with Thailand and he wanted to move to the US. So he come here to the US. Also, his wife was studying medics in Chicago as well.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, but like honestly, one of the easiest way for him to work is EB1 to get a green card. Then the good thing is that he has a PhD. So if you have a PhD and if you for somehow still have fire and purpose to come into the US, maybe you can consider EB1 from your own country or EB2, something along those direct green card application. But of course, details vary and prices also
Yeah.
varies.
Yeah. So for the EB, just to add on what Timo have mentioned, they have like EB1, which is for researchers, right? So like you have publication, which is so EB1 is like that you will be considered first, and then
Hmm.
EB2, which is a bit lower. EB2 is someone who have extraordinary skills, and you have higher degrees in the US, like master degrees.
Ah, I
So
see.
we actually legitimate for that, but we still need a company to sponsor that. So that's the EB2. We is just ordinary workers who doesn't have who's like have extraordinary skills but doesn't have like a higher degrees. For example, you are a
Mm.
chef, then you have extraordinary degrees, but you extraordinary skills, but you might not have a degrees. So then you might be eligible for the EB3. But all of these one, two, or three, you will be it will lead you to the green card.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay. Actually, I've never know about EV3, but
yeah.
yeah, that's cool.
Actually, and there is one type of EB2. It's called EB2
And I,
NIW.
mm,
NIW. NIW stands for National Interest Waiver. So basically, if you are an extraordinary person, extraordinary skills with a higher degree, and but you don't have employers to sponsor you, you can consider the EB2 NIW, which is
mm,
if you want to do something that if you can convince them that your skill will be beneficial for national interest for US, you probably can apply for this one. For example, if you are, this one will be really good if you are a researcher. If you're a researcher and you do something that research specifically that will be beneficial to the US in some kind, for example, you might be an engineer that you're
mm.
super specialized and have experience in
I would
like
actually say military defense,
military
cyber
defense, let's say
security.
cyber
Yeah.
securities, let's say you have that extraordinary skills, but you might not have employer, you might be a freelancer.
Hmm.
But you probably you know that this skill is really will be very important for the US. You can apply for the NIW without the employer sponsorship, and you might be considered. So this is
I,
one thing. Yeah.
yeah. I wanted you to raise one of the examples that we talked about. Remember
Oh yes, 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 yes.
that
So
person?
I was once thinking about applying for the EB2 in IW. And then I did some research about like how the success stories looks like for the EB, like someone who applied for this type of visa. And then there's one guy that he got a master degrees in music, and then he basically just say that like he have skills in like music and he teach kids, and then he explain how his skills will be very beneficial for kids to learn music basically. It's like it depends on how you explain it that like
Really?
how this will be beneficial. For example, I saw one girl that in marketing sector, she said that she worked for small business company, and then she's like she explained how the small business or startup in the US is a backbone of the US, how important it is. And if you do and if with her skills that she specialized in these fields, she can help the small business to grow in the US, and it will help creating more jobs in the US. And then she got that EB2 green card. Yeah. So it depends on
That's,
how you
yeah, really.
I mean, like, for sure, it will not be this easy as I explained, but for sure, it's like you can, you know, kind of tell them like why you are important to stay in this country. So, for example, tattoos. Like you say that here in the US, tattoo is like everywhere. Like you can, no one can replace you because you have your own style. Or chef, if you open a Thai restaurant, you definitely want the Thai chef.
Thai chef.
Yeah. So you are important here. Then you were happy to be here, you know. So yeah, this is how it works. So these I think those are the two type of visa that I could think of for now. Yeah,
Honestly, I think so. Related to like work stuff, these visa
exactly.
are one of the alternatives that you can get instead of
Yeah.
H-1B with a $100,000 fee.
And you know that and also I'm not gonna lie, those visa alternative that I mentioned, like O1 or EB2, you are open to work for any employers.
Hmm.
You don't need to work
You're
for
not
one
locked in.
employer like H1B too. Yeah, because it's basically green card.
Oh my. But yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and also I skipped one part and I would like to bring it up. I we mentioned that oh, in the US, tech is really big and most tech companies hired H1B applicants and workers. But actually, there is one more field that hire a lot of H1B workers as well, which is medical. Do you know how many
Oh
do
yeah.
you know how many physicians who's holding H1B visa?
I have no idea
A
actually.
lot, a lot.
Wow.
which is a huge number. That's also another thing. And imagine if they cannot have those, it will really affect healthcare in the US.
Oh my God, and healthcare in the US is like not the best in the world. The first like
Already not good, but okay.
all the all the staff is overworking, all the expense is like too
Yeah,
high.
exactly. Oh,
And it's not like something that you can replace just by snap a finger. You
yes,
need to train them for at least 4 to 5 and more years.
more than five.
Yeah.
More than five. Five is just school.
Hmm.
Five is
Not
just
even
for
a
school.
practice.
Not even a practice. Even if I was like, they learn. I have talked to one med student. He said, you will be in school until you are 30, 35. I don't know how long you have to be, but a lot.
It is. It is a lot. Crazy.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Again, I know this is tough. No one is going to sugarcoat this. $100,000. It's still a lot of money.
Mm,
But as we always say in international law, is that your worth is not tied into a piece of paper. It's not tied into your visa or your status.
mm-hmm,
If you're smart, if you're resilient, and if you're sure you want to be in the US for a reason, well, this is just one of the news changing. If you're really determined, I'm sure you're gonna be able to find a way here, and I'm sure you're gonna be able to fight your way to stay in here.
mm. Yeah. So, as I said, like this thing is so new and fresh, and we all still like in shock about this. But for sure, stay tuned, see what's going on, and then if any updates, we can circle back and checking on it.
Oh my! Again, well, thank you for tuning in today. If you like us, please give us a like. Please give us a comment. What happened to your H-1B?
Yep.
What
If you
happened
have
after you?
H-1B, yeah.
Yeah, you can comment what you feel or anything. But yeah, again, thank you for listening to International Pulse. I'm Timo.
I'm Ploy.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.